Welcome. Let's talk about the controversy about a Norwegian journalist, Heli Ling. You know that she was confronting Narendra Modi during his visit to Norway in May 2026. But what happened during that time? What happened is, after a joint media conference with Jonas Jonas Garstor, Heli Ling, the both of them called to Narendra Modi. They try to ask a question. Why don't you take some questions from the freest press in the world? That's what they try to ask a question. But of course, this referred to Norwegian ranking highly on press freedom indexes and criticism that Modi rarely takes open press questions. So the Modi did not respond and walked away. That video went viral. The Indian media, Norwegian media, and social media, they made it viral, that particular clip where he was asked a question and Narendra Modi ji did not answer and he walked away. Here again, the press freedom debate arose. Critics said that it highlighted concerns about media access, and they noted Modi has not held a traditional solo press conference in India during his time as PM. That debate came up. Supporters of Narendra Modi ji, they argued that this event was only for a joint statement, not a question and answer session. So why should he answer? That was the supporters of Narendra Modi ji argue. But India and Norway media clashed. The journalists also questioned Indian officials about press freedom and human rights. But Indian officials, they pushed back strongly, saying India is a large democracy and often misunderstood by foreign communicators. So it backlashed against the journalist also. They abused journalist. She received online abuse. And of course, she posted that I am not a foreign spy. They accused her and they abused her online. There was a cartoon also printed by a Norwegian newspaper depicting Narendra Modi ji as a snake charmer. That also triggered backlash in India. And critics called it a colonial stereotype anyway, that became mixed into the wider Norwegian controversy anyway. Whatever, the opposition leader Rahul Gandhi responded to that. He posted that particular clip in the, I think on X, he posted that. He tweeted, "The world sees PM panic." That's what he posted. Most probably, the most of the time, even previously also, Rahul Gandhi said that Modi avoids unscripted media questions, and he said he framed the Norwegian incident as evidence of unwillingness to face press scrutiny. Of course, beyond Rahul Gandhi, there was no much response from anybody, but the opposition leader himself spoke. This also triggered to a discussion between, a comparison between Rahul Gandhi and Narendra Modi ji, how they faced media. The supporters of Rahul Gandhi and the supporters of Narendra Modi, both, they were comparing between these two, that who is good in facing media. Obviously, Rahul Gandhi, right? Rahul Gandhi is the one who faced multiple times the media compared with Narendra Modi ji. So this comparison came. The supporters of Rahul Gandhi, of course, the Congress side, they said PM of a democracy should regularly face unscripted questions from media. And Rahul also used a Norway video to say avoiding questions hurts the India's image. Of course, press conference record also, Congress leaders argued Modi has reduced direct media questioning compared with earlier traditions and contrasting with Rahul's own press conferences. Supporters of Rahul Gandhi, they said the Norway episode became global because press freedom concerns already existed internationally, that our press freedom index is 151. So already it was on discussion about press freedom, so he was asked, but he walked away without answering. So the broader argument is that a leader gains credibility by answering difficult questions rather than avoiding them. This is the argument by the supporters of Rahul Gandhi. Obviously, that will be countered by Bharatiya Janata Party. They countered. They said government supporters. They all said the Oslo event was a joint statement, not a press conference, so no questions were scheduled. MEA, they also said the Norwegian PM initially did not take questions at that event. So some are arguing that the journalist's intervention and later controversy reflected bias or misunderstanding of the media. So that was about that particular instant. But if you look at press freedom 151, why we got 151 in press freedom index? Is it not a worry? Definitely it's a worry. How they decide, who will decide? There is something called RSF. RSF will give ranking to this press freedom, World Press Freedom Index. They will give the RSF will give the ranking. In this RSF ranking, India got 151 rank. Then how they decide? There are 5 parameters they use to decide the ranking of India. Is 5 parameters they use. Or the first parameter is like a political context. Say for example, parameter in the sense they study 5, like a 10th class student, total marks and average of all the subjects like maths 90 marks, science 70 marks, and social studies 50 marks, and English, the regional language. So total different subject marks and total average. So like that, there are 5 parameters they studied. They will generally study all these countries and then they decide the freedom index. So like what are those 5 subjects generally they are the parameters generally they see before allotting an index number, assigning a number. Like political context, first one is the political context. Generally they look into the questions like, can journalists criticize the government without any pressure or not? Do politicians influence coverage or not? Is there political polarization affecting reporting or not? So these generally questions will come under this political context, and in that India got 155 rank out of 180. And a legal framework. In this legal framework, something like this consists of media laws, defamation laws, sedition or national security laws, protection of journalists, and access to information. These things will be considered. And then in that, India got 141 rank. Economic context they studied, like how media ownership concentration, whether the reporters depends on the media house, will they depend on advertisers or government ads or not? Is there any financial pressure on the media? Whether the owners of the media house, will they influence the reporters or not? So these will be considered under economic context, and in this 132 rank India got. So these 3, 155 in political context, 141 legal framework, and 132 economic context. But this is 2 worse rank we got. 4th one is 2 worse rank, that is socio-cultural context. It is 160 rank in socio-cultural context. Social pressure, hate campaigns, online harassment, whether journalists self-censor due to social backlash or not. So these considerations they took, and then they assigned 160 rank in that. And finally the safety, they look at the safety of the journalists, threats, attacks, arrest, violence against journalists, safety during protests and conflicts. So in this we got 155. So overall 151 rank we got by considering these 5 political context 155 rank, legal framework 141, and economic context 132, and social culture 160, and safety 155, and overall 151 rank is the India is in 151st country, 151st country out of 180 at 180 or 185. So definitely it is definitely a concern of world press freedom. The government has to change, should give freedom to media to talk. Nowadays, of course, social media, they're talking because the most of the channels anyway, they are supporters of Narendra Modi ji. Thank you, Namaskar.